Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for April 26, 2019. Today we're looking at the EURUSD, the euro versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. As we can see here on the daily time frame, clearly a downtrend's been moving lower for quite a long time. We see the top left-hand corner of the chart right up there around the just underneath the 124 level at the very top left-hand side. Bottom right-hand side, we're seeing challenges down close to the 1.11 level. So quite a long downtrend we've been in. We're going back about a year ago, April 2018 to April 2019, this long-term downtrend. A couple of periods there inside the black boxes where it went into some range-bound markets, but overall a downtrend. Now, I would always caution about going short, selling a downtrend at the very bottom of the trend. And that's where we are. 111.10, 111.30, the green shaded area, very bottom of the chart, is the lowest low within the trend. So I'm cautious about selling at the bottom. You don't want to sell anything at the lowest price. So if you're going to sell something, you want to sell it at a higher price, and obviously that's true. You know, if you would have sold it a year ago, that would have been and held it for an entire year, that'd have been fantastic. But again, if you're going to sell something, you want to sell it higher. You don't really want to sell it at the bottom. So if we're going to go short in the direction of the trend, we'd actually like to see a little bit of a pullback. I don't know if it's going to do that or not, but we'll keep an eye out for it. The other thing to think about is, will it reverse? Will it turn around and go back up? So we don't know either one of those for sure, but we'll watch for evidences of each thing. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a good bit. As we can see, past couple of days, been a straight shot down. 1, 2, 3 days pushing down into the 111.30 level today, holding support there. We're consolidating ahead of some U.S. news. We have U.S. GDP numbers coming out at 8:30 a.m., about 35 minutes from the recording of this video. I do want to show you a different viewpoint, and part of the reason for this significant fall and a new low being made on the euro, and that's looking at the U.S. dollar index. This is the dollar index chart. You can see making a new high, and as you can see, the past 3 or 4 days making new highs all the way up here into the low 98s, and so new highs, and this is quite a long time. There it is. There's the rising U.S. dollar again, going back about an entire year. Down here at the very bottom, April of 2018, we've been moving up. So isn't that interesting? The rising U.S. dollar has given way to that falling euro dollar. So let's see what happens here for the U.S. dollar. We're kind of just holding steady up here prior to that U.S. GDP news. If we see a little bit of a pullback down into the mid 97s, back down to these resistance highs, we could, over on our euro dollar, see a rally back to resistance highs. So if the US dollar falls, this potentially takes a little bit of a rebound and turn back higher again. Blue zone, pink zone become your resistance. If the US dollar just rallies again, a breakdown through the green zone would be our next move here for the euro dollar. Now, again, if we see the dollar fall off after the news, potential buys here into 111.30 may be an opportunity for us with limited risk. Your risk would be stop loss underneath here in case it turns around and goes back down. So let's watch the U.S. news. Good news for the U.S. This may break down through the green zone, 111.30.10, head back down into the purple shaded area down here, 110.75.55. So that's a good move for the U.S. Positive GDP. We look for it to break the green zone and go down. Bad news, if it's disappointing and we see the dollar sell off back to the blue zone, pink zone, maybe our next targets, we may have an opportunity to buy. Let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. And there it is. Look at this, just kind of sitting here and waiting for that U.S. news, isn't it? Just kind of sitting on top of this green zone. So keep an eye on that news. If it's good news, again, for the U.S., a breakdown. The setup here for me will be that it actually gets underneath that green zone. I'm not going to sell it unless it gets underneath that green zone. I don't want to fall prey to a false breakout. So a full candle underneath there will give me reason to sell it. At least at this point, watching the news, if it's a good positive move, back to the pink and the blue and pink zone would be the next targets higher. Again, a positive move for this currency pair. If it's a negative GDP, we'll look for it to head back up here to the pink and the blue zone as our target. So keep an eye on that news. 30 minutes or so from now, positive or negative for the U.S. GDP may send it lower on positive GDP may send it back higher on negative GDP. Keep an eye on that dollar index for the day on the euro dollar.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.